Hello, hello.
We are live.
Hey, Mark. Hey, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
This is the first ever. We're just saying offline that this is the first ever live stream on Markerless Reviews. I do them every week on Solo Club. By the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed to that, it's in the description. But I've never done one on Markerless Reviews. So
you chose the perfect one.
The perfect day and the perfect three guests. So I'm sure everyone knows who everyone is on this live stream. But we've got Rob from 8 or 16, which regular 8 or 16 listeners will be familiar with his voice, but won't be familiar with his face. It feels a bit like the Mandalorian. This when the helmet comes off. I know what Rob. I've known for ages what Rob looks like, but a lot of people don't. When I announced the live stream, I had people saying, "Wow, we'll see what Rob looks like finally."
Yeah,
you are.
Sorry to disappoint.
Sorry. And Alex, hello, Alex. Alex,
hey, Mark.
Whose iPhone 15 video is absolutely going off the charts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so is my invite to Cupertino alongside that video. I'm sure it's in the post.
We'll get to that. And Patrick, Mr. Rambles.
Hello.
Back safe from Berlin.
Yeah.
Where we shared a burger, didn't we? Well, we had one each, but
I was going to say, it wasn't the lady and vagabond thing. It was just 2 burgers.
Oh, guys, right. Okay, so as this is my channel, I suppose I should be the person who kind of moderates this discussion, and I will keep an eye on the comments.
you gotta be careful.
We've had to tell Patrick to not say anything because he left me and Alex a voice note on our Telegram chat just before this live stream, which kind of illustrated his feelings about the iPhone 15 event. So I don't want him to waste any of that stuff. What we'll do though, guys, I don't know what you think. Should we just go through the whole thing in order? Should we do that? And what we'll do at the end, we'll take questions. So anyone who's watching this live, firstly, thank you for joining us. This is already, we're up to 94 people. I've never seen that many people on a live stream before, ever. So I genuinely appreciate you coming on. If you're watching this in the future, thank you as well. Shame you couldn't make it on time, but don't worry about it. Won't hold it against you. What we'll do though, we'll take questions at the end of this. So if you've got a question, put a Q at the start so I can see it, because there's already loads of comments. I'm going to miss the questions. Put a Q, put your question, and then later on we'll go through them, and we'll do our best to answer them. So if you've got questions for me or for any of these 3 guys, stick them in the chat, please. Okay, so what was it? 1 hour and 20 minutes, that event, roughly?
Yes. I fell asleep half through it. Yeah, but
yeah. It felt like 3 days, to be honest.
Alex, can we admit that you were editing your next video?
I was legitimately. I mean, usually I've got it in the background, but I end up watching most of it. This time, I found myself several times going, "Oh my gosh, the Apple event is on." I kind of forgot about it.
I was doing that. I wasn't editing a video, but I did find myself drifting off occasionally doing other things. I was dealing with an accounts issue at one point. I thought, I've never done this during an iPhone event ever.
That's how exciting that was.
Yeah, Jesus. I was going to say, this is the first time that, doing your accounts might be just as exciting as the Apple event. This year was really, I mean, I don't even have words for it. I did have words for it, but I can't really repeat them here.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. I'd like to not get cancelled this evening, to be honest. But
exactly.
What about you, Rob? Did you watch the whole thing?
I did, yeah. I actually bothered to watch this one because I missed the last one, didn't I? I can't remember what my excuse was. I was on holiday or something. Wasn't I?
You were doing something much more important, basically.
Washing your hair, yeah.
Okay, right. Let's start. Excuse me. Start from the start then. Well, there was the normal intro where Apple Watch and the iPhone SOS calling feature is saving lives, which is genuinely amazing. These would, I assume, true stories. We do get that always to begin with.
I think
why is that a thing now?
Saving the planet, no?
Sorry,
like 15 minutes of look how green we are before we got to it.
That was after the Saving Life intro, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, that's 2 years in a row now that Apple have reminded us that if you don't buy an iPhone and an Apple Watch, you're going to die.
You're literally you're gonna get stranded in the wilderness and die.
Yeah. Well, we're okay. We've all got iPhones, haven't we? It's just been that whenever I switch to the S20, get the right phone. The Fold 5, I'm risking my life basically,
It's
aren't
a death machine you're holding there.
For the first time in 15 years, I don't actually have an iPhone or an Apple. I mean, I've got the Apple Watch Ultra here, but I don't wear it. Yeah, I'm at risk every single day. Yeah, you guys, yeah, fearing for my life here.
Do we
was
all
interesting?
have one of these today? One of these?
Rob hasn't,
Yay!
I think,
Yes.
This is a great way
I
to start
don't
a live stream about an Apple event, isn't it? Hold up a Z Fold 5, as we say in the UK.
Such a good phone. Yeah.
What was interesting, I thought, was that immediately Tim Cook set the scene by saying it's two products. It's the iPhone and it's the Apple Watch, which immediately was a bit like, oh, okay. So there's no... I know one more thing has become a bit of a... Well, it's definitely a thing of the past, isn't it? But he immediately set expectations, didn't he? It was, this is what you're getting. iPhone, Apple Watch. Do not expect anything else. Which got me a bit worried about these. We'll come on to these.
Yeah.
Just leave that there.
I like how you kept your case.
I'm
I've
going to
got
throw
mine
it
as well,
in.
but I'm too embarrassed to use it. Yeah. You don't take that in public though, right?
No, I really don't. No. Okay. Right, let's get straight into it then. So, the watch.
Was there a watch? Did they announce a watch?
There was a new watch face and some new bands, new colors, at least. Not even new bands, really. New colors. Yeah. Same battery life and same price and same everything, no?
Well,
The
maybe it's twice as bright.
S9, the S9
2,000
chip
nits
is
on the brightness.
Oh,
So
yes,
they're
because
clearly
2,000 wasn't enough
prioritizing
on
a
the
brighter
watch.
screen over the battery life.
Yeah.
Yeah, the normal Apple Watch has a new chip as well, right? Which is meant to cope with the double tapping thing. It's like, okay, so my Apple Watch Series 5 can't do the double tap because it needs a new chip. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. And someone pointed out on the Discord server, Rob, didn't they, that it sounds alarmingly similar to an existing feature. Which one was that?
Yes, on Vision Pro, isn't it?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but there's also accessibility features, aren't there? I think on the.
Oh, right. That'll be
quote me on
confusing. Yeah.
But apparently, yeah, you need the S9 chip to enable it. It's that, isn't it? It's double kind of.
Yeah. And the chip with machine learning, computational, whatever, is going to be needed for that. That's great.
I'm keeping a very close eye on the number of people that are still watching because we're. But it's not our fault if they drop off because we're doing our best, guys. People who are watching this live to make.
While you're watching, can you see that comment by David Saltzman? Kind of summarizes the event for me.
Which one? Is it the parody of themselves?
Can you pull it up? I think that one.
So these events have become parodies of themselves. Too many superlatives, too much look at how green we are, and the whole Mother Nature nonsense. Can we just talk about that Mother Nature skit quickly?
That was a long skit, wasn't it?
It did. It really did feel like that.
It was just. It felt like it was well made. It was isolated. It was quite amusing. I thought Tim Cook did a quite good job of acting, but it was, I don't know. It just felt a bit. It felt like filler. It felt as soon as that. I've not seen them do that before. That sort of stuff normally happens at the start of the event, doesn't it? This was smack bang in the middle of the Watch Series 9 features, and you think, is there anything else to come? Any other product news? Okay, what they're doing is wonderful for the planet, but it was a long segment, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a bit of a waste of time there.
No, I'm going to defend them on that. I think what they were doing was demonstrating that they are doing recycling and caring about the planet in ways that they can demonstrate, as opposed to most other companies which say, "Oh, we're doing this, that, and the other." But they're like planting trees, and they're actually doing things, and they can point to specific projects that they have invested in and specific things that they're doing, like shipping everything by sea, reducing packaging size and so forth. It's not a new message, but the way in which they delivered it, I felt, was better than anyone else has to date. It's all been a bit airy-fairy across the industry, but they have said, no, that they've sort of upped the bar, and I think that's a good thing. I don't think you should knock them for that.
Honestly,
point.
I switched off on that. But yeah, I trust you.
Mm.
Okay, getting back to the watch then. So the S9, it's got a 50% faster GPU. I don't know about you guys. I've made loads of notes as I always do. So I'm
I
not.
started like that because I thought, yeah, this is exciting, and then I stopped. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
5.6 billion transistors. It's got a new 4-core neural engine and 2 times faster machine learning, and which actually brings us on to one thing which is quite important and relatively impressive, which is the Siri on device stuff, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
nice. I mean, the fact it's now it no longer needs to access the cloud to process those requests is, I don't know. I'm not sure how that would impact my use of it during the day. Do you guys get excited by that?
Does that mean she has fewer answers, even fewer answers, or how? I don't really see how
No,
that.
you get the same crap answers but quicker.
Right.
No. Yeah. Don't know.
Yeah.
You can access your health data though by talking to it, so you can say things like, I didn't catch all of the examples they gave, but it was things like what was your average heart rate and etc. etc.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Again-
know they didn't talk about iPads today, but doesn't iPadOS 17 now comes with the health app on it, which should be cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I understand what they're trying to do with this series. I mean, it's more like operating your OS rather than giving you answers.
Yeah.
Because for that, it will have to go to the cloud. I'm sure.
True. What else was there? I'm just looking through.
But didn't you think when you look at the design of the Apple Watch, not the Apple Watch Ultra, but the kind of the new one, the regular new one, there was nothing, right? It's the same casing, the same crown, same display, maybe a little bit brighter.
Twice as bright.
Twice as bright. Yeah, they did say
and dimmer, so it goes from 1 nit up.
Oh
to
yeah, it goes to
2000
1 nit. Oh, gosh, but yeah, it's the same. I mean, I still have my Series 5, which I don't actually wear it, but it feels like it's new, right? You couldn't really tell them apart.
Yeah, they did say specifically redesigned internally or something along those lines. That again, they made it very clear that this is the same watch externally. It's just the display that's been made brighter and darker, as Rob says, and the internals and stuff. Also, they moved on to watchOS 10 stuff quite quickly. That for me, that's always an indication that they've run out of the new hardware updates quite quickly. If they go from that to, and here's the stuff we talked about back in June as well, just to remind you of that.
Yeah,
no problem with that. I mean, it's updating people that haven't seen that, but that seemed to happen fairly quickly, I thought, on all the products today.
It tells the story, right? Yeah, there was no hardware changes really, so apart from the iPhone at the end. But yeah, that did tell the story.
I mean, even the rumors were quite, lackluster, right? There wasn't anything new really in the pipeline except that new black color, which didn't materialize. So we really do have the exact same exterior, just a new watch face. But I'm wondering can we not get that watch face on the Apple Watch Ultra 1?
I bet they limit it to the 2. I bet they do that because there's not. The thing is, if you look at the Ultra 2, there's not enough to make you upgrade. It's not really built. It's not made for people to upgrade. I mean, very few people, apart from ourselves, guys, are going to buy an Apple Watch Ultra every year, are we? It's a 2-3 year device, maybe longer. So but I still wouldn't be surprised if they limited that new watch face, which looks really cool. Actually, it's got the most. I think you have the most complications and glanceable information on compared to any other watch face, can't you?
But these are all digital. I mean, I don't know what people in the chat think, but I wonder if the Apple Watch Ultra 2, had I don't know, something new in hardware wise, people would think differently. For me, it was battery because I'm wearing a Garmin here because of that. I can't really, and I'm not that active, but my Apple Watch Ultra started off really well, like 3-4 days, and ended up after a few months just getting a day and a half, 2 days. And depending on the software update that you run, it changes, but it's so inconsistent. It's just like some days it'll be okay, some weeks it'll be shit, it's dead. So yeah, I don't know. Battery was a big one for me when they said it's the same 36 hours. It's like, oh god. and with a brighter display, that's not going to be good.
I mean, I didn't really think that it would have been enough for an Apple Watch Ultra 1 owner to upgrade. I didn't expect that, but I was thinking, what will I be recommending people after the event? Because if the Apple Watch Ultra 1 goes down in price, or at least through third-party sellers,
That's
I don't know
pretty
if I would
decent deal.
recommend the
Yeah.
2 actually, because why? For a watch face? I don't
Well,
think so.
I
Yeah.
recently bought one for Mrs. Rob. She's training for her second half marathon. And yeah, you can get them for about 500 quid.
Yeah, exactly.
No brainer, in my opinion.
So if you're coming from a previous watch, then I don't know if I would recommend the 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would not at all. No.
Martin Kelly just raised a good point there about he was hoping for a glucose monitor, and I'm pretty sure we've been hearing this quite a bit. And yeah, that's disappointing, isn't it? Because that's been in the rumor pipeline for quite a bit.
Yeah, maybe next year. I think all signs point to. I think someone else in the chat mentioned the X, the Watch X potentially next year. I guess we're leading up to that, aren't we? This is just it's a minor update, isn't it? Although we haven't really had a major hardware update apart from the introduction of the Ultra last year. It was last year, wasn't it? It's gone so quickly. Was it last year?
Yeah.
The Ultra?
It feels a little bit like one of those iPad updates. Like, okay, here's a new iPad Pro, and it's like, what's the difference? It felt a little bit like that. Here's a new Apple Watch Ultra, but what's the difference?
Can we just have a quick show of wrists, what we're wearing at the moment? Because Charlton says the Garmin guys are celebrating.
2-2.
Interesting, yeah. 2 Apple Watches and 2 Garmins. Yeah. You say
They're very different beasts, though, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can really compare them, but it does tell a story. In terms of usefulness, I get a lot more out of the Garmin, even though it hasn't got all the, turn off my lights or start my car app and all those little apps. But the battery lasts at least 5 days.
Yeah.
Or 18 days if you've got the Phoenix 7 Pro, which I still can't get my head around.
Yeah, I tried that as well. That's insane. Yeah.
But what was interesting, they made this massive thing, didn't they, about that gesture? It had its own little segment where they did a transition to someone talking about it. I think, again, do we get excited about that? Are they scraping the barrel here? I know they weren't saying this, but for me, it felt a little bit like they were comparing it with a brand new form of input method, like touch, multi-touch, the jog wheel. I know that wasn't what they were doing, but it felt a little, giving it that much stage presence, felt a little bit like that. I suppose we'll all be doing this, won't we, when we get them? But
yeah.
Anything else about the Apple Watch, guys? Can we do anything? What about?
For the first time in a long time, it's got a genuinely new chip.
Yeah,
because they've just been tweaking the chip since
but this is the thing. Yeah, I know I'm being tongue in cheek here, and apologies for the Apple fans there. But I don't know. It feels to me like the double tap or the watch face doesn't warrant a new chip, right? It doesn't feel like something that is a heavy processing feature.
No, I think it really extends their lead over the nearest equivalent, proper smartwatch, as opposed to a fitness first wearable device, which is the Samsung Galaxy Watch.
But to do
it's
what?
just further extending its lead in that area.
Okay, so maybe in future, whatever software they bring, it's
got 60% more transistors. The GPU is 30% faster. It's got a 4-core neural engine for on-device Siri. Machine learning is twice as fast. It still maintains its 18-hour battery life, and it's got that second-gen ultra-wideband chip, so that you can find.
That's useful, I guess. Yeah, that's useful.
So technically, the battery life, or the battery did get a bit better, because if you can carry 3,000 nits and have the same battery life, it must have improved a bit.
That's on the Ultra, the 3,000 nits. It's 2,000 nits on a regular 9.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Ultra. Yeah.
Were you unmoved by the fine woven bands? I don't think any of you are watch band geeks, are you?
No,
not like you. Rob is you're a collector, really, Rob, aren't you? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I've had to go and buy storage for my for my straps because it's got out of control. So, yeah, no,
Do
I've
you
got
buy?
tray.
Here's the question, right? Do you buy them from Apple or do you buy them the knockoff ones?
I only
both?
buy them from Apple when they're only available from Apple. So like the Pride band, the woven Pride band, which was a work
Yeah.
of art. I bought that directly from Apple because it's the only place you get it.
You
But
can't find it anywhere else.
generally I would get them on eBay, new old stock. Because you can get them for like 16, 20 quid.
Yeah, that's I've been recommending. If you want the kind of the sports band and whatever, they're so similar on Amazon for a fraction of the price. Is it like £100 or $100 for
the fancy one? So if you want Apple Watch Ultra straps, or if you want the woven ones, then yeah, they're 100 quid. So I only bought one of those.
Buy shares is what I always say. Buy Apple shares.
But it's Apple's first ever carbon neutral product, so that's good.
That's good. It's a good thing.
That will hit the headlines, won't it? That'll be something that will definitely be picked up by the media. Okay. Anything else on the watch? Anything? Let me look. I'm going to look in the comments. Let me see if anyone's been firstly trolling us about this. I did notice one comment that said, "This is all a bit awkward, guys. Just cut to the chase. Are you buying the Ultra 2?" So we can answer that question. I'm not.
No.
I'll probably buy it for review, maybe later, like end of October when there's nothing else to talk about, and compare them. But I'm not personally excited like I was last year. This is a major like calm down, back in your box sort of thing, right? It's in comparison with how excited we all felt about the Apple Watch Ultra last year. This is what was even that? That's my take right now.
The Apple Watch Ultra, at least in my opinion, was really exciting last year. And of course, we can't expect Apple to super innovate every year. But I did expect a little bit more than this, to be honest. At least, maybe some new colors or whatever.
Yeah. And I wonder if that's one of those, a couple of days later, they release like a press release and say, right, this is a new color or something, right?
I think they would have
done that at the event. Yeah, why wouldn't they do it at the event?
A very thin event.
I'm just picking out random comments, nothing in particular, just things that pop out to me. I'm thinking I'll pop
that 20 quid is in, we'll PayPal you later.
I'll find a contrasting one in a minute. There's plenty of them. That's a really good point, Patrick, about the whole the Apple Watch. I think from a creator's point of view, because the three of us had a lot of success with the Apple Watch Ultra when it came to content last year, didn't we? I remember we were all kind of texting each other saying, check out the latest video. And it was a real... It's hard to explain this unless you're doing this, really, but it was a really exciting time, waiting for it to be delivered, and then realizing that actually it had a big audience, mainly of people who, I think they were split into two camps, people who really wanted it and people who couldn't stand it and who loved Garmin's. And because of that, it created this amazing kind of interest around the Ultra. And we rode that wave. I think we'll all put our hands up and say we made plenty of videos about that thing.
And
I made one about
it's a beautiful device, right? And it's in comparison to my previous Series 5, I never really found a reason to upgrade it until the Apple Watch Ultra. The bigger display made it so much more useful as I watch, because it's bigger. All my sausage fingering is kind of removed, with that, and it made it more useful. It made it more, I could take calls. Call quality was actually great. People, even when it was windy.
I mean, in my opinion, it's it's obviously the best Apple Watch ever made, but I think it's also the best proper smartwatch ever made. I'm not talking about Garmin fitness. It's not the best fitness watch, but it's the best smartwatch, and I think it still is. I recently tried, and maybe if there's Android fans, I apologize in advance, but I recently really tried to like the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic, and it just felt like a toy. There are a couple of features that are quite nice, but mostly I just think it doesn't even come close to the Apple Watch Ultra. So, and it's still, way ahead of the pack. But it's just, us tech nerds, we just expect something new every year, and there just really wasn't anything exciting.
No. And maybe that's just, we're being greedy, right? We had an amazing kind of, new product category almost, like it's a different sort of category for Apple. I don't know what we were expecting, really. Maybe there was the case of it would have been better if Apple didn't do anything on the Apple Watch Ultra. They said, right, we'll reserve our energy for next year. And
I
actually
mean,
do
I
something new.
jokingly tweeted this should have been a press release, and
I saw that. Yeah.
I genuinely think it should have been. I mean, there's nothing. Last year there wasn't too many exciting things either, but there was the Apple Watch Ultra that kind of saved the event because it felt like a genuinely new product. But this year it's just okay. Well, there's a bits of new things, but I was expecting maybe the one more thing would be iPad Mini 7. That could have been nice, but there was just
Was that a rumor? Because
it was a rumor a while ago, not recently, but I still was hoping for it because last year it came out of nowhere. Nobody expected it. I didn't expect it. I was just watching the event of the iPhone, and then the iPad Mini came, and I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah. Brian's got a question here, guys. Let me saying, if you've got a Watch 7, Series 7, would you upgrade to the Ultra 1 or Ultra 2?
Right now, I'd say Ultra 1, but
yeah,
I'd
you get it for
having done exactly this, or Mrs. Rob rather. Yeah, absolutely. If you can get an Ultra 1 at new old stock, sort of 500 quid, 25% off, then that's worth doing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a lovely thing. I won't be getting one. I'm quite happy with my stainless steel Series 7 still.
And they do, I mean, durability on these things, right? I mean, I do knock them and I haven't had a protection on it at all. And there's not a single scratch. I haven't used it for weeks now, but it's a decent watch. But I don't know if I could recommend the 2 without knowing, what we're getting those extra bits for inside it.
Okay, are we doing the watch?
Yeah, I think.
Should we move on to the big event, the iPhone 15? Let's do it. So I've just noticed in my notes, I've noted down the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. That's a Freudian slip there.
Can I tell a true story? My video this morning was about the iPhone 15 Pro Max and the reasons why you should consider other options. It was pretty much 90% of the script for the video I did last year at the exact same time. And, it was a bit of a gamble because I thought, Apple could change and bring in like a 15 Ultra or something, right? It was rumored. But turns out to be like the video is spot on, copy and paste almost.
Yeah.
But I don't blame you for thinking it was a 14 update because it felt like that.
Are we talking about the 15 regular first, or are we just grouping?
Let's do that. Let's do the 15 regular. Let's do it in the order they announced it. So the iPhone 15 regular it's got the A16 Bionic, so it's got the same chip as the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Let me just very quickly say what I was going to write a blog post about this tomorrow, so I'll do a quick preview of that now. I think the best iPhone 15 feature, I bet none of you noticed it. Rob might have done. In fact, I did mention
Island.
the Discord server. It's not Monkey Island. It's not putting Monkey Island on all of them. We'll come on to that. But it's something I think went unnoticed. But for an ultra geek like me, I could not. I think it's brilliant. And what they've done basically is it.
Are you going to go mention voice isolation?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Bear with me. I'm going to start by talking about Final Cut Pro, which makes no sense, but it will. So in Final Cut Pro, they introduced a feature about 12 months ago, which was a tick box and a slider called voice isolation. And in my studio, I've got it's quite a reverby room, lots of noise outside. This completely saved me from spending an absolute fortune kitting this place out with sound deadening. Tick the box and it uses machine learning, AI, all that stuff to basically pretty much get rid of everything apart from your voice and dampen the sound. It looks like they've put that into the iPhone 15 because there was a sequence where she's on the phone and there's loads of in a market or something. So takes the phone away, turns on voice isolation on the iPhone 15, and it all the background noise goes. So to me, I'm sure it was a bit harder than this. They've taken that tick box out of Final Cut Pro and put it into the iPhone 15. That for me was probably the highlight of the event.
Yeah,
and I'm not joking because it's seriously impressive, and it will have gone unnoticed. I think that's me.
In my case, I didn't even notice they were talking about that. To be honest, that is good though. If that's can you adjust how much isolation? Because in Final Cut, if you just leave it, the default is almost like too much, and it sounds like you're inside Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't show the interface, I don't think, did they? Unless I missed
right.
it. I think she did. It was just a shot of her taking the phone and pressing a button and it coming on. But I just think it's not. I like seeing that because you can see where Apple is reusing we'd call it repurposing content, but they're repurposing features across. They always do this. It's action buttons coming
Yeah.
on.
That feature is black magic, to be fair. I use that on every video as well because, yeah, so echoey here.
Derek says the voice isolation was there for quite a while. I'm not sure what you mean there, Derek. It's not been. I don't think it's been on the phone, has it? This is new to the iPhone 15.
I think it probably means, yeah, it's been there on the Final Cut, but not on.
Oh yeah. Been there. We can say something, Rob.
Oh well, just an observation really. So the iPhone 15 is essentially an iPhone 14 Pro, but with a 60 hertz display, missing the tele lens, but with the addition of dynamic island, and that's it. That's all you can say about it, isn't it?
There's quite a few people saying that feature isn't new. So yeah, maybe it's been there a while. I did notice on the Apple Watch, I know we moved on from the watch, but the Apple Watch did have like, I don't know, 3 or 4 microphones that used AI as well to reduce wind noise. So I wonder if it's a similar thing.
Possibly. That spoils the blog post I was going to write tomorrow. I'm going to write it anyway. I don't care.
Interesting.
We've got to
make.
Don't care anymore.
Yeah. I like how you found something positive.
Come and get me, Tim, if it's wrong. Okay. I think you're right, Rob. It's pretty much an iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, complete with Monkey Island. I'm just looking at my notes.
The fact that they're throwing the 48 megapixel camera setup in there with OIS.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's lovely.
It is, because it's a great camera. It's an awesome camera. Still the best video shooter, I think, in terms of a smartphone.
Yeah, that's true. I do use it for that all the time. It's very good. But the thing is, that's what I mean. I've been using it, and it's been very good. And, it's just the lack of exciting new things that just made this a dull event, because they're great phones and they're just getting a little bit better, but okay.
But this question,
who's gonna tell Mills MMA?
Someone needs to let Mills MMA. So who's going to let him down with this?
Who's going to win? Is there?
Sorry, no. It's still 60 hertz. That still doesn't bother me, if I'm being completely honest. It's I don't know. I've never been of the kind of the crowd that is, going at Apple with pitchforks about 60 hertz screens. It doesn't really bother me personally, and from them, it's a cost-cutting measure. I mean, that's why they've got so much money in the bank, because they know that most users don't care. The people that are buying iPhone 15s and 14s, standard phones, don't even know what a high refresh rate screen is, and for good reason. Why should they?
Someone on Twitter
I would dispute that, because even your budget Androids have got minimum 90 hertz. I think that actually it's made it into the mainstream now, and it's a bit of a piss take to still be releasing phones with a 60 hertz refresh.
Yeah,
but do you think people know though? That's what I mean.
I don't think it's whether someone made that exact point on Twitter earlier, because I was saying similar. I was whinging about Apple basically, but they said. I don't care if I use it or if I even notice it's there, but I want to know it's there because I paid premium price for a premium phone, and it's an Apple device. You expect it to. I mean, it's a little bit like when it came, was it on a 13 Pro Max? After 2-3 years of people say, come on, the 12 Pro Max came out with 60 hertz as well. It's like, but you are right. That's the YouTuber in me, right? The normal person, I've used the 14 plus, last year for a while, and side by side, I could not notice a massive difference. I was like, this is totally reusable. And I think that's probably why Apple do it, because it's like the average user will not notice it, but you want to know that you've got promotion.
I think they do it because
it would have been nice.
Tell you.
Yeah. Even if it was 90 hertz, I think that would have been a nice nudge to still have 60 hertz. Yeah, that hurts.
New colors. We've got 5 new colors: pink, yellow, green, blue, and is it black? The other one. I quite like them actually. They look quite. I mean, I think that the standard iPhone, the non-Pro models, have always got better a better color range, I think, than the Pro and Pro Max, which are always
A little bit younger and a little, yeah. They went for a pastel style now, right? Bit more
They look
tuned
nice.
down.
I
Yeah.
like these. I do like these. Is anyone on this live stream out of the four of us getting the standard 15? Nope, me neither.
No.
Have interest in the comments, guys. Are you who are watching this live now is getting the standard 15 and why?
There's a great question there. CDN Nick. He's actually wondering if the battery in the Pro is going to be better because it was quite bad in the 14.
Who knows until we get them.
Yeah.
I've always had really bad battery life with this 14 Pro Max. It's been really disappointing compared to the 13 Pro Max that I had for a bit.
I can't believe how bad the phone was. Not just battery, but maybe I got an unlucky one. But yeah, I had terrible experience with everything.
I don't think Rob has though. Rob, you've got a different experience with it, haven't you?
My 14 Pro Max is the best phone I've ever owned. I regularly get 3 days out of it.
Wow. Okay. I definitely got a bad unit. I think I don't know what it was.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't get involved with social media, so I haven't got like your TikToks and your Instagrams or your Threads or any of that stuff. And I imagine that is what results in my better than average battery life. So yeah, if I'm going to do any of the social media stuff, I'll do it at a computer because otherwise I just don't get anything done.
Yeah. I don't know, you guys. I mean, my batteries wasn't that bad either. I mean, it was never a major issue. If I forgot to charge overnight, I still had some juice left in the morning. It wasn't too bad. It's not as good as, something on my S23 Ultra. This thing will go for 2 days if I let it. But I'd say it was just, I don't know if it was iOS 16 the first like 4 or 5 months. It was, I don't know. I just hated the whole 14 Pro Max experience. I just thought such a shame because the hardware itself, the photos and videos, everything was great on the display.
The poor battery was in the Pro, not the Pro Max. Because I've been using the Pro and it's really terrible. It doesn't even get me through the day. By the end of the day,
as well. Yeah,
it's pretty much dead. Unless I charge it throughout.
We've got a question here. I didn't know about this with MagSafe, but are they going to solve the problem with MagSafe heating up the phone and damaging battery longevity? I wasn't aware that was a thing. Did anyone else know that was a thing?
No, I misheard what they said about Qi 2. I understood Machu Picchu or something. So they're using a new wireless charging protocol of some sort, right? Should be faster, but I don't know if it damages the battery or not. Is that what we're talking about? The new Qi 2 or?
I'm not sure. This suggests that there's been a problem with MagSafe, but I've not been aware of that, to be honest. But
just for the record, I exclusively charge my 14 Pro Max using MagSafe. It's never been plugged in ever. And we're a year on, and last time I checked was 98% battery health.
Maybe that's the secret.
That's probably the secret. Yeah. I never charge wirelessly. I always plug this thing in. Maybe that's it, Rob. Maybe you found the secret.
Well, it's faster. I have this thing on clamped to my desk shelf here, the MagSafe thing, and I'll put it there just because why not? But if I need a quick charge, I wouldn't use it.
Yeah, you need a proper wall charger, I think.
We have USB-C now, which is groundbreaking. It was funny to me.
Was there information?
They said USB-C has now become the universally accepted standard or something like that. And I was like, are you seriously saying these words right now? It was just embarrassing.
Yeah, instead of saying, Europe.
They also said it's been built into Apple products for years.
Yeah, okay.
They got that in as well. And then they very swiftly moved on, didn't they? But they're putting it into, I've literally, big news, guys. I've reordered my AirPods Pro 2 with USB-C. That was the first thing I did as soon as the event had finished. Went straight into the store. Because if anyone doesn't know, I lost / had them stolen the previous.
Wait, did I miss that? Was there an AirPods? Are you saying what?
Oh, it was off. It was mentioned offhand. So during the USB-C announcement, they said they're bringing it to EarPods. So the wired ones, they're going to have it.
Oh yeah, the little. Okay, right.
Yeah, the white cable ones. But also,
didn't they also say they were going to put it in the AirPods Pro 2?
That's what I mean. Yeah. So that's what I've ordered. So I've literally just ordered. This is a big moment for me. We need to kind of stop for a minute and realize how big a thing this is.
Celebrate USB-C on it. Yeah.
Now I've whinged about USB-C missing from the AirPods Pro. It's finally arrived.
It's the same.
Where's the sound? We need like a clap.
We do, don't we? Confetti.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good. That's good news.
Why have you done that?
Done what?
Reordered them just because they've got USB-C.
Well, because my other pair were nicked, and I've been waiting to get another pair.
But you've got like 3,000 pairs of headphones you can use.
But I miss my AirPods Pro, Rob. I can live without them. I was going to say I can't live without them. That's rubbish. But I do miss them. I've got some. You're right. I'm looking over there. I've got literally about 10 pairs of earbuds, but none of them are AirPods Pro. I wrote about this last week. There's particularly when it comes to noise cancelling and transparency mode, nothing comes close. I reviewed the Sony WF-1000 XM5 yada yada last week, and they apparently, according to Sony, have the best noise cancelling according to their own research, and it's utter rubbish. They're nowhere close to AirPods Pro 2. So I just missed them, and I knew. Well, it was pretty much a sure thing we were going to get an update with USB-C.
I'd say, yeah, if you're getting a new one, right, that's absolutely that makes total sense. I wouldn't I've got the old one still, the Lightning one, and I don't get on with it anyway. But I wouldn't go out and buy the USB-C one just for the port, unless I'm missing. They're not doing anything to the earpod to the.
Yeah.
Okay.
New case with USB-C. That's it.
And I exclusively charge those wirelessly. I mean, I went to the trouble of embedding wireless chargers in every flat surface in the house, so I don't bother with cables at all. Everything's wirelessly charged, including AirPods.
Just to be ultra clear with this comment here, I'm not suggesting that people who already have AirPods Pro 2 buy them again just to get USB-C. I'm only doing it because some person stole them from my gym. So please don't do it. That's the public service announcement. It's not worth 250 quid to get USB-C. I wanted to point that out, make that very clear. Very quickly, obviously these are in shot at the moment. I don't know about you. Was anyone else expecting these to
Yeah, I was hoping for it actually. Yeah, because it's been 4 years now. Or is it 3 years?
3 years.
Yeah, it needs an update, doesn't it?
3 years.
They still sound amazing, but I could do with something that is a little bit less hot after like an hour of use. That's my only complaint. I love how they sound, really.
What about
the case? I don't think I've got that yet. I leave mine on a little stand, probably out of battery now. But
I've got.
Don't even know.
Voice throw it. There we go. Yeah. I did think we were going to get AirPods Pro 2. I thought we were going to get these updated. It worries me now a bit more so. I've suggested that they may never make another pair of these. I do wonder if this was it potentially.
Are yours dented or was it just lighting?
They dropped them then. They're a bit dirty.
Okay. I thought on the corners it looked like dented, but no, it's just lighting.
Don't say that, Alex. Don't say that. I think they're fine. I wonder if we're ever going to see AirPods Pro again, AirPods Max again.
Yeah, because now we're getting.
Well, no, I saw an interview with their audio guy in What Hi-Fi, and they are working on some kind of lossless ability, aren't they? So I think we will see it eventually.
So imagine wearing that and the Vision Pro at the same time. We won't need it, right? But quite a lot on your head.
Just picking out random comments. I should do my YouTube a bit, actually, guys. If anyone's watching this and if you're enjoying it, if you're not enjoying it, then you don't have to hang around. But if you are enjoying it, just give us the thumbs up. Makes a massive difference to the channel. And if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe. And please go and check out Alex and Patrick's channels. I would say go and check out Rob's channel, but he doesn't have a channel. But he is on the 8 or 16 podcast, and he is very kindly advertising it via his little 8 or 16 logo. So go and check that out on all your favorite podcast players. But thank you, guys. We're not finished. That sounded like I was wrapping up there. That was a
don't wrap up. No,
YouTube.
We haven't done the $1 million giveaway.
Yeah.
We're gonna
never wrap up a video halfway through. What am I doing?
We just lost 80 people at work, Mark.
I'm just going to give up now. I'm
Let's
looking.
talk about the titanium thingy, shall we?
Wow, are you done?
Or are
now?
we not?
Was
I
that
don't
it?
know.
I don't
Was
think we- I
there
don't think-
anything else? Was there
Yeah,
anything
there's
else?
loads of interesting things about the iPhone 15. One is that they kept
Come
the price
on.
the same because
They kept the prices.
we were very worried that they would hike the prices up because everything's getting more expensive. I mean, I was particularly concerned about the precedent that Nothing set earlier this year when they hiked the price of their phone from by £180, didn't they? For between the Nothing Phone 1 and the Nothing Phone 2. They set a precedent whereby year on year, they felt it was okay to raise the price by 180 quid.
Yeah.
And I was worried that might give Apple the green light to go ahead and do the same or worse.
I was surprised by that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So the prices are the same. That's good.
And in the UK, they haven't given us the shaft like they always do, right? It's the same price as the US. They just changed the currency sign.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's very positive. It makes it easy to recommend it now because it's always hard in the UK to say, yeah, pay another 100 quid or something.
Yeah. So to get a slightly gimped iPhone 14 Pro for regular iPhone money, I think is brilliant. I am looking forward. I mean, I won't buy one. I'll go and I'll try one out. I'm looking forward to the slightly contoured edges. So since the 12, we had the stark flat edges.
I think that's an underrated feature. Yeah, that's going to be a huge change. I think for a lot. It's lighter and more comfortable to hold. That makes a big difference.
So you got the sort of rounded edges on an S23 Ultra. You got the rounded. Well, so I mean,
and the Pixel as well. The Pixel
going back to the Nothing phone there. That's got a slightly rounded back now, and it does feel nicer. I have to say.
Yeah.
So I'm quite looking forward to that. The ability to take a 2x crop from the main 48 megapixel sensor on the regular iPhone is the lovely thing.
Okay. Am I misreading this? Because I've talked about this in my videos. Like we're getting the same sensor, 48 megapixel sensor on the regular iPhone, the same as the Pro, right? But we can't use ProRes and ProRAW because software, or because in theory it's the same hardware, right? So why are we not able to do ProRes? Or am I misreading this?
Was that explicitly mentioned?
No, which is why I'm kind of assuming. But yeah,
interesting. Because like you say, if it's not, that's just
that's petty from you, right? Because it's like you've given us the hardware, but you disable it on software.
Well, it's just like every camera manufacturer, right? They give you the cripple hammer.
Yeah. It made sense until now because the hardware was different, but now it's like you're giving us the same sensor. Come on, it would have been nice to say, open YouTube tomorrow and go, oh, Apple have done what no one expected. They're actually giving us value for money.
Apple's gonna.
No, they did say that you could take full 48 meg photos.
Yeah, but not ProRes or ProRAW. That was something new.
I'm not offended by that. I mean, just the fact that you can optionally take the full sensor 48 megapixel resolution if you want to, I don't think your regular user is going to care about.
Those pictures did look amazing, to be fair. What will
appeal to your regular user is the automatic portrait depth map. So even if you take a regular photo and you want to add a depth effect after the fact, we can do that now, and you can change the focus between multiple subjects in a photo. I think that's lovely. I think I'm
smiling because Android users will probably be saying, so we've had it for years. But yeah, no, it's nice to have it. I agree.
Oh yeah, on your S23 Ultra, you could change the focus between either of the very blurry people in the photo that you took because they were moving.
Yeah. And Pixel as well. Pixel, I think, does something.
Have we got any Samsung users in the chat? Come on, tell us if you're a Samsung user.
I lost another 80 people there.
Off they go. Have we mentioned the roadside assistance thing? I don't think we have we? So another reason you need an iPhone to stay alive and not abandoned outside of your car is that it now has roadside assistance via satellite.
I like how they call it the Marimba Ranch. I thought that was probably the highlight of the event for me.
What was that?
they call it the marimba ranch when they cut it to the guy talking about roadside assistance.
Okay, right.
I thought it was quite funny.
Oh, and they had a marimba ringtone motif in the background
That's
music
right,
as well. That was
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
We've got one Samsung user still watching. Thank you. I won't try and
Let's
pronounce your
go.
name, but thank you for
One
still.
of us.
We are. In fairness, we do have Samsung phones.
Yep.
I've got two here.
We all have.
Represent.
Anything else?
Are you running the One UI 6 beta, Alex?
No, I couldn't get it in the UK for. I don't know if it's available now, but that's
no,
one
it is.
problem with Samsung. Sometimes you get updates first in other countries. But yeah, if it is on now, I'll update it.
You can go and get it now. You can also get the Play Store system August patch.
Sweet.
James,
Yeah.
that's harsh. They wheel out USB-C after all this waiting, and they expect a big fanfare. Then there's always one person, isn't there, that says, "But no Thunderbolt." Welcome to 2019, Tim. If Tim Cook's watching this now, which he might be, who knows?
Yeah, he's here.
He probably is, isn't he? James, you've probably ruined his day. Ruined it. Although there is something to say about the USB-C on the Pro and Pro Max, which we'll come on to in a minute. Have we done the standard 15?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't have any more rants about it now.
They did talk about portrait. This confused me a bit. Maybe you guys and people in the chat can help me with this. They talked a lot about portrait photos. I couldn't work out if that was just because of it's now got the camera system from the 14 Pro and Pro Max, or if there's new portrait stuff in the iPhone 15. Did you get that? They're talking about machine learning to detect.
Yeah, you can use the 12 megapixel crop of the sensor and use that as a portrait picture, which is the same thing that we had in the Pro models on the 14, I think.
What do you mean by portrait picture?
So it's like it takes the full 48 megapixels and chops it into a portrait size image. So I don't know if I could be talking out of my ass here, but that's kind of what I understood.
Okay. I just wasn't sure about that. But anyway, let's move on to the is this the big thing? I keep saying that, but it's the only thing left.
It's the bigger thing. Yeah.
The big and the bigger thing. So the 15 Pro and Pro Max. So the first thing to mention, although it did it in a slightly weird order, but I've put the first thing down as the A17 Pro. I saw a question a moment ago about if we are all excited about the A17 Pro. Firstly, it's a new name, isn't it? Is this the first time they've put Pro, used the Pro moniker on an iPhone chip?
Do you know? Yeah, I was expecting them to call it M something. In fact, my video for tomorrow, I pre-recorded and called it. I recorded twice. Once saying the A17. I didn't say Pro. I didn't know that, but I recorded it twice saying the M chip, just in case.
Surprising they didn't chuck an M2 in there. That's
what I thought. Yeah, they might do what they did with the iPad.
But it's got a breakthrough GPU. I think the GPU was the big thing for them, wasn't it? They said it's the redesign in Apple's history.
The gaming.
Spend a few minutes talking about gaming on an iPhone. Yeah, and there were decent games as well. To be fair, it wasn't like the Apple Arcade crap.
Yeah, and it's kind of I mean, I made fun of it a little bit, but it's kind of cool to have ray tracing on a phone, and it did look nice. I mean, it always looks nice. You have to see it, when it actually reaches the phone, but it did look nice if you're a gamer on the phone. Those, myself, I'm not. I mean, those are not games I want to play on a small screen, but it's cool.
That's what I was thinking. It would have been nice to plug it to a monitor or something and use a controller. But yeah, I guess if you get in the Pro Max and use one of those attachments, like a joystick or something, could be cool.
Do we have any gamers in the chat? Anyone who's watching? If you let us know, it doesn't excite me at all. I'll be totally honest. I've got no interest in gaming, but I appreciate a lot of people do. And it did, like Patrick says, that ray tracing stuff looked genuinely impressive. And they talked about, I can't think which game it was. Was it Assassin's Creed or something? Is it one of the first games running natively or developed natively for iOS? I mean, that's impressive, isn't it? I just can't get excited about it personally, but
no, it would be interesting to see how hot it gets, because that's the thing with gaming phones. Those ROG ones that they make. It comes with a fan, so it's always when I play something like Genshin Impact as a test, those games really make it, like almost like 100 degrees on the
really
phone.
good point. That's an excellent point. I got one of those handheld ROGs, and it does have a fan, and it kicks on immediately almost.
Yeah.
So I wonder how an iPhone's going to do that without a fan.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hoping that the titanium casing, maybe it's a better dissipation. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah,
it does look nice though. Between all the negative tweets I was doing, I did actually want to tweet that I like the titanium. I think I did actually. I'm not sure now.
Out of my 99 tweets, one of them was positive. Yeah.
Did they call out? Did they actually mention a specific weight reduction, or just simply that it is lighter?
Yeah,
there's no lighter. Yeah,
I was waiting for a percentage, but there was nothing, was there? So
again, you got like the S23 Ultra. That's 240 grams, and it feels it. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is 234 grams from memory. I mean, it's a chunky beast.
It feels heavier. It feels heavier, yeah.
But it feels heavier because it's got the squarer edges, I think. And then one of the things that I've liked most about the Nothing Phone 2, sorry to bring this up, I'm not sponsored by Nothing, I promise. Carl's sitting behind me, just prodding me with a stick. No, one of the things I enjoy most about picking up the Nothing Phone 2 is how much lighter it is. So that comes in at 201 grams. So if they can get it closer to that, that'd make me very happy.
Yeah, I'd be surprised
if the chat said it's 9% lighter.
Yeah, I might double check that if that's the case. That doesn't sound as significant, does it?
187 grams, saying, so that's actually not bad. And is rounder, so I think it will feel a lot lighter than the current one.
They do this a lot. I mean, the titanium design for me was the thing I needed after all that stuff leading up to it. It was like, okay, this does look. Yeah, it plays to your senses, doesn't it? It looks nice. I loved the intro. I don't know who it was. I need to find out if anyone knows who. I assume it wasn't just made for the event, but the intro music for the Pro and Pro Max was right up my street. So if anyone knows who produced that, I'd love to know. But
yeah, that was cool.
Out of interest, guys, are we all going to get the Pro Max? I'm getting one.
Well, I'm a little angry about that because I don't like the size of the Pro Max. I've been very happy about the fact that the Pro and the Pro Max have had the same features because I much prefer the Pro. Now I'm going to have to get the Pro Max because I want those features. So that's a little annoying to me.
Are you going to pull one out for the 13 mini? It's gone now.
Yeah, long live.
Sad times. That's it, isn't it? Well, I think
I did get the 13 mini, and I did like it.
I used it for a bit as well.
You still have it, don't you, Alex?
No, I used it for almost like as a stopgap between my Android stuff and my ecosystem things. But I realized that I wasn't using it every day, so it's gone. So I don't have it.
This man is right. Smart 7. Yeah, we're really reaching here.
We are, aren't we? So I'm just looking through the comments, just seeing any questions about these. Can we talk about the cameras quickly? Should we just go on to cameras? Because what I did notice, Pete, where is it? This Modern Scholar. I'm looking to start a YouTube channel. The video capability looks amazing. I did think this, and when they were showing stuff like, I mean, this is the same thing every year. Every time you see the new iPhone, particularly the Pro Max and the Pro, I always think it's getting more to the stage where you do not need a camera like this unless you really want one. And the fact that you can now record externally, I think this was just on the Pro and Pro Max, but you can record externally to an external drive.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 4K 60, which is awesome. Yeah,
amazing. For video-centric people, I think this phone is going to be worth it.
I hope this doesn't happen, Adrian, but there's apparently going to be more YouTube channels than YouTube. I don't know what that means, but my brain's gone.
I think that there already is. Yeah,
end of the universe. Yeah, I think so. The camera, then. So
what was the zoom? What was the periscope? Did they call it periscope even?
No,
I wasn't. Okay,
so no, it's a tetra prism.
It's not a periscope.
Alex, come on.
Tetra prism. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I saw the
prism
light
zoom.
animation going to like. I thought that can't be good, is it? I mean,
It does that 4 times, and the reason it does that is because they can't. What they can't do is put a massive 70 to 200 mil lens on the back of it. So they've just squashed that into.
okay, that's quite smart, I guess. But
It was a
what
120
was the zoom? Can someone tell me what the zoom is?
So
5x, 120 mil.
yeah, so we've got
Yeah,
7
yeah.
focal lengths, 7 standard focal lengths now. So you got macro, which they included in that, 13 millimeter, 24 millimeter, 28 millimeter, 35 millimeter,
35, yeah.
48 millimeter, and as Rob says, 120 mil, which any photographers out there will know that they are very popular focal lengths. So they've been very careful how they've chosen those. Very smart. And 120 mil, and it's also got the most advanced stabilization yet. Apparently, I don't know if that's of any phone.
They did say that, yeah.
10,000
they said something
micro.
about it in the market,
3-axis
yeah.
stabilization, 10,000 micro adjustments per second.
That's not bad, is it? That sounds good.
Because yeah, I don't know what the technical specs are on the 10x on the S23 Ultra, but you've got to have a very steady hand to get shots out of that.
Question is,
Bonkers
can we
that is.
take a photo of the moon? If we can't, then I'm not buying it.
A fake photo of the moon.
With all the
I'm
machine
pretty-
learning.
The stabilization was already very good on the 14 Pro. So I wonder how much better it's going to be. It's quite impressive.
Yeah.
I'm just looking through these comments.
10x optical zoom. What is? Yeah. 10x is pretty good, and I mean, I don't ever find myself needing to go beyond that unless it's like once every 6 months. It's, oh yeah, that's cool to have a 30x, and then I never look at that picture again. But 10x is probably the most useful focal length.
Can we pull up Jules Smith? Can you do that? Because I
Jules
think that there's a very interesting point there.
So brutal truth, iPhone is falling further and further behind the competition. Even you guys sound like you're struggling to get genuinely excited.
I'm not even trying,
So,
Jules. I'm
don't
genuinely bored with it.
I don't really think they're falling behind the competition because they're genuinely good phones, but I think they are losing. They're losing a lot of people because they're not really exciting anymore. The competition is doing very exciting things. We've been really enjoying the foldables, the flip and the fold, and there's all these interesting things happening in mobile phones. And iPhone's sort of
the purse.
doing these.
Your personal favorite, Patrick?
The fold, you mean?
No, the
No,
Honor phone that looks like a purse.
Oh,
The V
Have you not
Purse.
seen that?
no. I do
Oh,
think,
I'll
I
send
don't
you a
know.
link. You'll love that.
I've been saying, if Apple doesn't up their game next year and do something genuinely innovative, I see people switching to Samsung. I've been seeing them switching in my comments. I mean, obviously there's a bit of buying
Same
price
here.
because it's a Samsung video, but I mean, I'm getting more interested in foldables. I keep an iPhone because I need it for the ecosystem. It sounds a bit dumb, but it's true. But I'm using the Fold more than the iPhone currently.
Yeah.
Because it's more interesting to use.
Yeah, this last year has been a bit of an eye-opener for me because I never thought I could not have an iPhone, and I even almost like felt like I needed a 13 mini to keep things going, but I just don't miss it because I think you're right. It just feels samey whether you get the Pro Max or whatever. It just hasn't changed a lot. I'm hoping that the titanium and the little rounded corners will make the Pro Max at least a little bit different and better, but at the end of the day, it's still
every
very similar
market
to the
research report that I see suggests that the iPhone is gaining market share rather than losing
Yeah,
it.
it's
So
always
statistically, although the sentiment is that people are bored of the iPhone, they keep buying them.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of status attached to it as well, right? And the brand goes with it. That people don't buy it because it's better. I think they buy it because it makes them feel a certain way. I think.
This is an interesting question about photographers. Will professional,
No.
that's what they mean. They won't. No, I've always held this belief that I think if you're semi-serious about photography, you're going to want a proper DSLR. I think it's the first thing you want is a proper camera immediately. They're just far more flexible. You get. I know you can have the same control in an iPhone, but it's still an iPhone. It's a bit
Yeah.
like flying a drone with your iPhone as the display. I know you can do that, but it's much better to have a display built into the controller because it's dedicated for that. No one can ring you halfway through. But you look at the examples that Apple are giving us, which you do have to remember are in perfect lighting conditions, and
Studio
shot by
light, yeah.
studio lighting, and shot by brilliant photographers. They're not going to trouble proper cameras in that realm for a long time, if ever. I don't think personally.
No, but I think photographers do enjoy having the best of the best when they want to do like they want to do a scouting session, and before they actually go and take a proper picture, and taking that with the best that you can get is valuable for a lot of people. I hear that a lot in my comments, like, I want to have a phone not to replace the camera, but to almost, help that time that I don't need to take a camera with me. I'll just use the phone, but it has to be top quality.
I do agree with that, and I think it's the same for videographers or amateur videographers like ourselves.
If you're in a pinch, right, a 15-second clip.
100%. I don't always have my camera with me, and I don't always want to have my camera with me. And in those cases, I want to have the best possible camera on a phone. And I took my camera to New York last year, and I had all these plans, but I ended up shooting 80 to 90% of the footage on my iPhone because it was good enough, and I had it on me, and nobody noticed. It is better. Cameras are better. It's a fact. But you can get away with it easily.
Yeah.
Most important question. Sorry, Garcon. Go first.
So I used to take an A6300 out with me wherever I went, any family gatherings, any holidays, because I wanted, better than smartphone quality photos. Since the 14 Pro Max, I feel that the quality and the de-skilling of it, because you just press the button and 9 times out of 10, and it is 9 times out of 10, you get a perfectly shareable photo. So I don't bother taking it out. I've got a proper camera. I've got prime lenses and all sorts of stuff. I don't feel the need to take it out anymore because, again, and it's about the reliability. You might get a spectacular photo out of the proper camera because I'm an idiot and I don't know how to use it. I'm maybe 50% on a good day of usable photos using a proper camera, because at a family event or taking photos of your kids in the garden or at the park, you're not going to be setting up every shot to perfection. It's not. And so for most people, most of the time, I think a smartphone camera is now actually a better idea than getting your traditional proper old camera. And as far as smartphone cameras go, I've got an S23 Ultra, I've got an iPhone. The S23 Ultra system is absolutely technically better. And if you're going to go into RAW mode, you can get unbelievable
RAW
photos
mode
out. It's
extra
insane.
Or
But
even
again,
200
in
megapixel.
the context that most people find themselves in, unless you're taking pictures of statues and landscapes or doing product photography, you're not going to use that. You want to hit the easy button and get. And I find that my success rate with the S23 Ultra for any subject that is moving is considerably worse than the iPhone. So for that reason,
when it's low light as well, I guess it's a bit of a struggle with the S23 Ultra in low light, but not always. Sometimes it's a tricky one depending on the situation. But I think I'd agree with that the iPhone is the safest option for like quick photos and quick videos.
Yeah, and I think Martin Kelly in the comments has a good point there, because he says that point and shoots are disappearing slowly, and I think that's probably true. There's a gap between the iPhone and mirrorless cameras that is still quite large, but the point and shoot, I think that is really disappearing because phones are just as good now.
Yeah. Do you mean those smaller cameras that? Yeah,
like a ZV-1, for instance. I think we all picked one of those up. I never use it. I picked up a ZV-E10. I use that all the time because it's different. It's a different thing. But those point and shoots are just not better. And they're what Rob was saying is true. It's difficult to set up the shot. It's not as fast, and it doesn't have the same software correction, as an iPhone. It's the easy button, like you said. It's the iPhone is there and it's quick and it's fast. It's difficult to mess up.
I think you have
Yeah.
that level. You have the pro level where people are going to use pro cameras, but they're going to a pinch. They will pick up their iPhone and use it. I think a lot of even filmmakers are doing that. Not in movies, but they're using it in all sorts of things. But you're always in that realm. You're always going to default to a proper camera. It's that massive middle section which would have bought point and shoot cameras, Canon 90Ds, all those sort of things, that are just using this because these are just as good. So yeah, I think Martin's got a really good point there. Much more important than any of this, though, guys, what is the best color of the Pro and Pro Max?
Out of
Regular
impulse,
type D,
I only
yeah.
looked it for like a 5 minute after the event. Looked at it. My impulse was get the titanium black, I think it's called, because the pure titanium, whatever they call it, natural titanium, felt too light to me. I don't know. It's only on a website where I think, but the blue and the black are the ones that I'm kind of leaning towards. I didn't think much of the white.
It says
one.
black. I'll put this up here. Is there a green? There's a
No, it's
green.
a sort of navy blue.
Yeah, there's a
I thought it was
blue,
a blue one, yeah.
a white. Is the other one's called natural, I think, isn't it? Which is the natural titanium.
Which I thought was
colour.
like a light grey one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my favourite. I've always had a bit of a thing for titanium, the colour of titanium. Oh, and the fact that the sides are brushed now,
Oh yeah.
because the polished, fingerprinty, smudgy sides have been
It does
grim
look
ever since they introduced
awesome.
those.
That is such good news for YouTubers. And I mean, Patrick and Alex will know about this, but the worst thing about I'll pick this one. The worst thing about phones like this, and
oh gosh, yeah.
getting B-roll of this is so, because as soon as you pick it up, you get all smudges and stuff. You wipe
Wherever you
it,
go
you
to
pick it up
YouTube,
again.
yeah, it's like those little microfiber cloths everywhere, right? Because that's all we do is just rubbing these things.
Rubbing the same
That came out wrong. Sorry. One thing though that it's slightly aside is the action button. That I don't know. I won't mention the brand, but I've been talking to a brand, and they said actually we're a bit scared of the behavior of the action button, because they didn't know, if they didn't tell manufacturers of cases whether there would be like haptics, or if there'd be like a skin sensitive thing, because cases sometimes they might just cover the button like they do with a volume button, for example, or in other cases they leave an opening like they used to have for the switch. Because it's a button, they didn't know, can you cover it, does it need the skin? And it sounds like there's a haptics, right? So if you put a cover on a case, so let's say, be careful when you're buying your case. If there's a cover, just maybe try it, make sure you get the haptics, because that's gonna
I think what's interesting about the action button is that firstly, it's not international orange, which was really bad.
Yeah, that was
decision,
disappointing. Yeah.
But the other thing is that it is actually, I think it's a physical button, isn't it? It's not there's
Yeah, it
rumors
is.
about getting rid of the buttons completely and having them all as haptic feedback. I think the haptic feedback is
switch.
Yeah, I think the haptic feedback is actually the normal haptic motor. That's what I.
Yeah. So you get the haptics on the phone rather than on the button.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
so.
I think it's
Yeah,
just like a trackpad and things like that. It is a motor.
Yeah. Okay.
I
so
think
there's-
this is the first time, though, the sidetrack, that I'm not going to use a case on the iPhone because I don't want to cover up that titanium.
It looks
so
beautiful, right? It looks beautiful. Yeah, it does. You have to. Yeah, I have to agree with that. I just wonder, if people like Google and Samsung are looking at that, going, "Okay, yeah, we've got to do a titanium case now." Because I know Apple have put a patent for titanium years ago. That was when I was first starting doing videos, like 2020. I saw that rumor. So I don't know why did it take them so long? Is it hard to get the material or something?
Possibly. I think Michael's picked up on this quickly on the haptics thing, because if you think about it, the mute switch does that already. So if you mute the phone, you get haptic feedback, don't you?
Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, so that's not as bad as I thought.
Shout out to Mike, by the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
Michael. Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Go check him out. He's got an awesome channel too.
Put your channel up, Michael. I don't mind. Stick it in the comments. Any other questions? I'm just looking at the chat. Have we done all of the stuff on the Pro and Pro Max? Is there anything we've missed out?
It's more repairable.
Oh, is it?
There was a mention of it being more. Obviously, we'll wait to see what iFixit have to say about that, but it's allegedly more repairable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care too much about it, but they mentioned thinner borders. They don't call it bezels, but they said thinner borders.
Yeah, that was a very small, excuse the pun, very small part of the thing. That was a
Summation,
big
yeah.
rumor, wasn't it? The rumor was about having the biggest display. I think I even saw one of the big media outlets in the UK, like the Guardian or something, say it's going to have the biggest smartphone display. I thought, okay, I'm not sure that's true, but equally, that's clearly going to be quite a big part of this launch. And it wasn't, was it? It was a footnote, basically.
Yeah.
My guess is it's probably almost imperceptible in terms of how much bigger, or how small of those bezels are.
And the ability to take spatial video was quite weird because you won't be able to play it back on the device on which you took it, which is odd.
Because it uses two of the cameras, doesn't it? It uses is it the standard and the ultra wide or something? That was they had to get a mention of Vision Pro in, didn't they? That had to happen at some stage.
Quite a few times, yeah. They mentioned it at the beginning and the middle and the end, yeah.
Well, it now makes that demonstration of the guy replaying his kid's birthday party more sensible, because out of context, you'd think, well, I'm not going to wear that at my kid's birthday party. But if you take it on your iPhone, that changes things, doesn't it?
It's cool.
But that's coming, the feature is coming later this year, he said, right? What was it called? Spatial video?
Spatial video.
Right.
Still means it's coming before Vision Pro. I suppose the
Vision
point
Pro.
is you shoot this stuff now, and then you get your Vision Pro headset for $3,500 in February or whatever, and watch all these spatial videos that you've made on your own in a massive room
for half an hour until the battery runs out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Unless you tether yourself to 3 cables and whatever.
Well, they also claimed that the iPhone is the best mobile gaming platform in the world, which is quite a statement when the Switch exists.
True.
And that ROG machine as well, right?
Yeah, I was going to say there's and the Steam Deck. There's plenty of good platforms out there.
We've got to the end of the list, guys. I think we've done it. I feel a little bit flat about it. I won't lie. I think from a content perspective, it's quite exciting because we do. I think certainly, in fact, everyone on this live stream, all 4 of us, isn't backwards about coming forwards about saying bad things about Apple. You know, we're not ones to kind of shrink and not say something when we don't believe when we think they've done something wrong. Particularly Alex with his thumbnails, he'll let them know about it. And for that reason, I think some of the things that have happened today present some very good content opportunities.
Yeah,
really.
I'm
good.
not rushing to make content because like I was for the Apple Watch Ultra. So, oh my gosh, this is such a. I mean, I was genuinely excited about the product, and like I am genuinely when the Macs come out. Usually the Macs make me excited about Apple products, but the iPhone and the iPad recently has just been meh.
I think it puts a real focus on pre-owned stuff and buying secondhand things, refurbished products, which I personally very rarely cover on the channel. And I do get quite a bit of requests for that. So this really, while I was watching all of this, I was just thinking the biggest one is the Ultra, the Apple Watch Ultra. I would not recommend buying the 2 at all. That gets me thinking about what I should be recommending, which is very unusual, very different to what it was 12 months ago, when it was straight away buy the Apple Watch Ultra, recommend it, etc.
I say for on the iPhone, if for people are on the budget and don't care about those amazing new features on the camera, the one that for me is a bit of a hidden gem. There's 2 actually. There's the 13 Pro Max, and I'd say the 14 Plus. Those 2 for me are probably the sweet spot. I mean, obviously, if you've got a bit more money than the 14 Pro Max when the price comes down, but the 13 Pro Max is looking very good right now, and I kind of regret getting rid of that phone.
It's a good one.
It was a marginal change between that and the 14 Pro Max, so you don't get the Monkey Island, but the cameras are amazing on that, and so is the battery actually.
Sonic's asking if it's. What if it is actually Sonic? Is there any point in upgrading from the iPhone 14 Pro, in your opinion? No, I don't think so.
Only if you're really like we said earlier, if you're like a professional and you want those extra bits. But
if you buy it for the video capabilities, you need the USB-C port, because we've had this ProRes, but there's no way we can actually use it. So that's one of the main reasons why I will switch, because I want that port so I can actually get that stuff on my computer and use it.
At 10 gigs per second, though, not 40.
ProRes 4K 60 through USB-C. Yeah, I think some of us have. We're hoping for Thunderbolt.
Yeah, so it's 10 gig per second instead of 40 gig per second. Is that right?
It's
We're getting
doable.
Thunderbolt. Yeah, so it's not the end of the world, but it's not as good as what we were expecting. But yeah,
Just-
ProRes 4K 60, it's pretty decent because I remember I did a video, like a 2-minute video, generated about 100 gig. Obviously, in that
Yeah,
2-minute
that's it.
video, I had to record like, I think it was about 100 clips of 10, 15 seconds each to make the 2-minute. And it was a nightmare to get through Lightning. AirDrop won't work. Yeah, it's awful.
See you next week.
I had to put this comment up because I bought the deep purple one, which I'd only bought because of the band. I liked the fact it sounded like, well, it just was a reference to Deep Purple. And I hate this color. It's the one iPhone I bought that I've despised.
Aubergine. That's what I got actually as well when I originally got it.
It's in person, I think it's terrible, personally. Very, very, very subjective thing, I know. But yeah.
It changes
can't
on... I guess it changes depending on the lighting as well, right? I actually liked it. That's the one I went for when I got it. But yeah.
I got the gold one, and I made a video about why on earth did I pick the gold one, because I thought it was hideous. But then when you couple it with a cognac brown case, like, I don't know if you can see it, it actually looks quite nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, which you won't be able to get anymore because they've killed leather.
Yeah.
That's it, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
this is a third party. It's Walnut, very nice brand.
Mm.
I'm getting the white one. I'm going to get the white titanium because I love white things. So I'm going to go for that.
Are you guys
Yeah, I'm also a big
pre-ordering,
fan
or are
of
you
white
going
phones.
to a store?
Online
I'm
order.
going to try and pre-order it if I can get through this time.
Yes.
Is this true? Mark, your AirPods will have better dust resistance. Really?
Why?
Is that to do with the port? Maybe Dave's referring to the fact they've got USB-C rather than Lightning, but I didn't think that was a big difference. I don't think they're not claiming better dust resistance. I don't think.
I don't recall seeing that on the. No.
Have they got better theft resistance? That would be nice.
They're
Right.
all in the Find Me stuff now, aren't they? I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, Find Me worked perfectly though, didn't it? You were able to locate them like they were in the back of someone's Porsche.
Yeah, they made their way 4 miles across town from my gym to a shared car park for a
So you
very
did
nice,
track them. Okay.
yeah, a very nice apartment building with about 4 apartments in it. And I went into the apartment and said, look, to this lovely old lady who clearly hadn't taken my AirPods Pro, didn't know what they were. I said, look, they're here somewhere. They appear to be in the car park near this expensive Porsche. Can you let me know who owns that Porsche? And I never heard back from her. And now they've just vanished. They've gone. So, yeah, there you go.
Damn.
There you go. And if anyone's wondering, I still haven't got my luggage back either.
Oh, God.
The Lufthansa one. Was it a Lufthansa?
Still gone. Does anyone I'm going to try this now. Does anyone on this chat work for Lufthansa baggage reclaim in Berlin airport? I'm going to use
Lufthansa,
my power on YouTube.
They outsource that stuff. They don't do that themselves.
Patrick, don't say that. That makes it worse.
It's probably Swissport or something terrible.
I knew I'd talk about my luggage on this live stream.
But there
That's
was
what it's
no
come to. Actually. We've got
camera
to the
gear or
stage there.
anything, right?
No,
Did you lose any
there was.
equipment? Or?
There was my Mantis pod. You know how good that is, Alex. My
Oh
little,
no!
and a
Oh,
brand
no.
new carbon fiber tripod that I bought for EFA.
For the trip. Oh
And
no!
all of my
shit.
pants, all of my socks, my posh shoes, and some gym kit, and yeah.
No, the Mantis paw is a big one. Yeah,
It is.
that hurts.
Anyway,
I don't think anyone mentioned the price hike on the Pro Max. It's $100, £100 more expensive. I mean, you get double the storage for that, but that's the only one of the phones this year that is more expensive. So that
Is
is,
it?
yeah, it was $10.99 last time.
Oh, it was $10.99. I don't know. I thought $11.99 here, and I thought they haven't shafted us.
they
No, they
spun that quite cleverly, didn't they? He said something like it's the same price at that storage level, which because it starts at 256 now, doesn't it?
I'm just so used to buying the 256, and I think it was like $12.50 last year or something, maybe even more. No, that's good. there was a rumor that it was going to be 128 gig, and I was like, come on, that can't be true. And actually, that came from German as well.
Shoot a ProRes video on that.
Yeah, I was like, come on, that
3
can't be.
seconds.
I'm glad it's not true, because that would have been absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
Some people say I don't use 120 gig. I'm like, come on, you install
No,
one
you-
little game, that's half of it gone.
Right, because we've got to the bottom of this list and we've still got quite a few people watching, let's do a quick fire question just for another 5 minutes. Hit us
Don't
with your
buy it.
questions, guys.
We're at the deep end.
Well, while
Yes,
we wait
we
for
are.
questions to come in, I've actually got some things we haven't talked about. Only a couple.
Go.
So, well, we haven't covered the new iCloud Plus tiers. You 6 gig and 12 gig iCloud storage tiers. That's
Don't
pretty
use
wild. What do you use?
Dropbox.
Yeah.
Google
Well,
Photos.
actually,
I
should
do use
do-
it, but I don't pay attention to it.
To do a PSA for the Backblaze price hike. Again, not sponsored by Backblaze, but they're putting their prices up on the 3rd of October by quite a lot. And yeah, I mean, they are very Mac friendly, but obviously it'll work with your PC and other stuff as well. But yeah, if have been procrastinating about upping your backup regime to have some off-site cloud backup storage, get involved with the Backblaze before they hike their prices, because you can lock in their current rate for 2 years, which is worth doing.
Definitely.
Because I mean, it's very good. It's a very good backup service. I use it.
Any other addendums? Rob, was that it?
Well, while we're on PSAs, you got the iOS 17 launch is the 18th of September. Sonoma is the 26th. Well, we mentioned the 13 mini is no more. And you can buy a USB-C to Lightning adapter for $29.
$29. Don't do that, by the way. Just buy one from Amazon.
Sonic's got your back, Mark.
They haven't mentioned the braided USB-C.
I needed that, Sonic. Thank you. That's the biggest laugh I've had for the last 2 weeks.
It'll be a swift recovery.
My boy Knuckles. Sorry. Yeah.
Did I miss? I missed so many things, but did I miss the braided cable that was going to come, or they haven't talked about the cable, the like special USB-C cable? No,
There's no
seem
talk
to be a
about
thing.
thing. I hope it is. That'd be nice if it is. Color coded, that'd be good, wouldn't it? If it was color coded with the iPhone color, that'd be great.
and if it's not 100 quid, yeah, I'd be down for that.
I don't know what this comment means, and we're still talking about luggage.
That's how exciting the iPhone is.
Right, we have got some questions. Here we go. Do you think the 100 quid extra is worth it for the Pro Max at 256 gig?
Yeah, I know I'm being facetious here, but I'd say yes. Yeah,
I agree. I think so.
yeah, because it's not just the storage you're getting, right? You're getting a new material, new camera. But yeah, I think I'd say that's a fair hike, given how much more that, in comparison with the 14 Pro Max, you're getting quite a bit more.
Camera module really is better and different and new.
Yep, definitely. 15 Plus or 14 Pro? That's a good question. That's a really good question, actually. I like that.
At a pinch, I go 14 Pro. Yeah,
I think the value, because you'll be able to get discounted 14 Pros.
True.
Mm.
Yeah, the price difference is going to be quite big.
Yeah, I would take the smaller display with the ProMotion and the addition of the telephoto lens over the size and the 60 hertz of the 15 Plus, even though it's
it feels.
better
I was impressed with the 14 Plus last year, so I'm assuming it's the same sort of form factor with a dynamic island now, right? It felt really nice. It felt really comfy to use because it's not as heavy, right? Same display size but lighter. But I'd still take the 14 Pro, despite the battery issues.
This isn't really a question, but I like it. You haven't talked about the Apple Watch and the little fingers gesture. We did actually talk about it. You probably missed it earlier. But I wish they'd called it the little fingers gesture. They didn't call it that, did they? It's called something else. What's it called? Is it double tap? I think it's called. But they should have called it
Double
little
tap.
fingers gesture. I like that. Any more questions? What have we got? Here we go. When will you release an iPhone 15 Pro first thoughts video? Presumably you want to get your hands on it. So I'm getting the 15 Pro Max. I did do a poll on this. I did it properly. I asked my audience, hoping that they would all say, just get the 15 and save me some money. But I think 50%,
Pro Max, yeah.
Yeah, 50% was the Pro Max. I think it was Pro Max, then the Pro, then the 15, then the Plus in that order. So I will be getting the Pro Max. I'll be getting it when everyone else gets it. Fingers crossed in about a week and a half's time. It's next Friday, isn't it? Deliveries, I think.
I don't know. Yeah,
I think it is.
I'm not in a rush, to be honest.
That's the good thing about this event is that it's saving quite a bit of cash. I was ready to spend.
Sorry, Patrick. That was bad timing, wasn't it? Thanks, Michael. But yeah, it should be called that, 100%. Oh dear, so many images. Right,
yeah, so many people are saying that in my comments, saying, "Yeah, I've just saved a grand," because they're not seeing the reason to upgrade this year.
Can we call it iFinger? I think that's the winner.
Double fingers.
Possibly. We have to be so. Yeah. We've been so well behaved on this, guys.
Always Patrick. Always Patrick.
Always Patrick. The last few moments.
You want to see our chat on Telegram? Lee, have any of you guys moved? No, you don't. Have any of you guys moved to Samsung Fold full time? And has the release of the 15 Pro Max is it making you think of moving back to iOS? I haven't moved to this full time. Mine's a review unit, so it will go back at some stage. But no, I haven't. I still use the Pro Max full time because I can copy and paste stuff from it to my Mac. That's the only reason, really, and the video. Anyone else?
I have my main SIM in the Fold, but I keep the iPhone on me as well for those same reasons, the copy and paste and sending things via AirDrop. I know there's workarounds and apps, but it's not the same. I don't care what anybody tells me, it's not the same.
I think the way between the phone and the Max now is exactly the same with a bit of a wiggle, but there's, because up until now there's only been workarounds and you have to scan QR codes and whatever, but there's something called near drop that is it's nearby share that your Mac sees, and it's exactly like, same speed as AirDrop.
Tried it, but it seems to be spotty. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
All right. No, for me it's been,
for me at least,
pretty decent. But I don't use the Fold as my main device right now. I did that with the Fold 4. I used it as my main device, but I had to use it because I broke my S23 Ultra a few weeks ago on holiday. I smashed the display, so I was forced to use it. And I'm not getting rid of it. Let's put it that way. Lovely experience.
Nick, will you be reviewing the AirPods USB-C? No. Jason, do you think there will ever be an Ultra iPhone? Possibly. It's just a marketing thing. It's a name, isn't it? I think there are rumors that it's going to be next year, possibly, but I don't know. Anyone else?
Or an iPhone flip or something. Yeah.
I would love a foldable iPhone.
Me too.
I wonder what they're waiting for. I did another video about that as well, because it's like, I don't think the camera is quite there yet for an iPhone crowd. I think iPhone users expect the best, right, for a camera. So the flip felt a little bit, it's too much of a compromise. But the Fold has really decent cameras. So, if they did a iPhone Fold, this could be an Apple logo in it, I'd say. Yeah.
So for me personally, I don't unfold it that much. I would say 80% of the time I'm just on the main screen. But it's so great to have it when you do need that bigger screen. And you can unfold it. You don't have to reach for an iPad mini or something. And what I also really like that I didn't realize that I would like this much is the fact that you can use the good cameras for selfies. You can just flip it open and use the thing as a monitor, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, that is really
cool to hold. It's I find it a little bit tricky to hold, but
it's a bit. It needs work, but to have that on, I would love an iPhone Fold. I would immediately buy it.
Same.
I've historically had no interest in foldables whatsoever because I can't deal with the crease and I can't deal with the gaps and the thickness. So I don't like the Fold because of the narrow.
Yeah, the front screen.
The Pixel Fold, I think, was better because you could use it just on the front display, but it's so thick and it's got like comedy bezels.
Yeah.
The first foldable I've really been interested in is the Honor Magic V2, which looks like it solves all of those problems.
The Honor, Yeah, that would be
I
nice.
haven't held one personally, but I'm led to believe that it has the least prominent crease of all the foldables,
Yeah,
and it's ridiculously thin.
I don't know if Patrick saw it at IFA, but I've played with one. It's by far the most impressive foldable that I've seen by quite a stretch. It's got the right width screen. The front screen is the nice blend between the Fold 5 and the Pixel Fold. But yeah, even like you say, that the crease is pretty good.
I love the narrowness of it. Is that even a word? But I actually like it because of it. It just makes it so nice to hold. The
After
fold,
a few days, you get adjusted to it, and it's actually quite nice. And it's also, what I think it's underrated, is that it's great for one-handed use because it's so narrow.
You can reach it. Yeah, I'd definitely buy an iPhone foldable if it wasn't a flip. But yeah.
Will there be an extra event in October? I think either October or November. I think we'll see Max. There'll be something. I think.
I hope so.
Not according to the rumor mill.
Really?
I can't remember where I read it. It might have been German saying that there will be no M3 Max this year.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Maybe
year.
iPads, perhaps iPads.
iPad, surely, right?
Needs an iPad.
Well, iPads seem to be on a 18-month cycle, don't they? So I wouldn't expect those till spring.
Jules, let us know what the score is in the thing, please. Mark, do you ever sell any of the products you review? Not really. I mean, I give them away. I did give away a Mac Mini at one point, and a few of my family have been gifted headphones, but no, most of it gets
That's the
kept.
point. Did you ever hear from that guy who received your Mac Mini?
Was that so, Rob?
Did you ever hear back from the guy who received the Mac Mini after its epic journey from New York to wherever it ultimately ended up?
I did. He's very happy, and we need to get him on the podcast. That's gone a bit quiet, but he's very, very pleased anyway. Yeah, very happy new owner. Let me
Patrick
pick out.
said something that. What was it, Patrick?
What was it, Patrick?
I said that tax authorities watch these videos as well, so I never sell anything. I only give it away or send it back.
Yes. And we can only give it away, but if it's a review, I have to be careful what I say here, but review units that have been given to us by companies that may need to go back, we make sure they go back and don't give them away.
Yeah.
Wouldn't do. I don't know who else might do that, but we wouldn't do that.
No.
Hope Linus is not in the chat, is he?
Oh, don't give it away, Alex. I was trying to be really subtle there. He's probably definitely watching this. Right, we have got lots of questions here. People are still watching. We're dropping off a bit now, but I'm going to pick one more question. Let's have a look. Oh, there's so many good questions here. Actually, it's this one because this. I assume this refers to an Apple Watch Ultra. This is the only thing that would have made me buy the Apple Watch Ultra 2 if there was a black version. I was waiting for that desperately. As soon as they moved on from the Apple Watch Ultra section, I thought that's it. That's me done. So I hope so for my sake. But that's how superficial I am. I would just have bought one if it was black, but because it's not, I won't be reviewing it. Does everyone else think that?
Was the automatic Night Rider mode not slightly tempting? That's your favourite thing, isn't it?
It's automatic, is it now?
Yeah, so the new one it's got an ambient light sensor and it will automatically flip to Night Rider mode. I forget what the official thing's called.
Rob, stop spending my money.
Yeah, I do like the mode.
Oh, you are tempted now. Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
No, what would have sold it for me, it was probably not even the color, but better battery. If they lost me completely, it was literally, they lost the audience for me when they said 36 hours. It's like, oh shit, okay, that's the same. Yeah.
Needs to be
and there's the first swear. You guys are awful.
I didn't notice that. Who swore?
No, I don't.
Alex swore.
I just use it as a comma. It comes out sometimes.
On that note, guys, I think we're going to wrap up there. We've been streaming now for nearly 1 hour 40 minutes, which is the longest ever for me. I don't know about anyone else, but and we've had, honestly, I think we hit 306 people then at some point, which is a record for me, and well, it's a record on this channel because I've never done a live stream before. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who's tuned into this. We must have been saying something interesting. We'll see what happens over the next few weeks. I think you'll see plenty of videos from myself, Patrick and Alex, and Rob and I will pick this up again on 8 or 16. We're recording on Thursday, Rob, aren't we? Which we'll have to regurgitate all of this stuff and publish it on Saturday. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, guys. If you've enjoyed this, if you're still watching it now, I presume you probably have enjoyed it, or you just left it by mistake playing to itself. But if you are still watching, give us a thumbs up. Please give us a subscribe as well. Check out Patrick and Alex's channels. Check out the 8 or 16 podcast. When you start a YouTube channel, people always say don't give too many calls to action at the end. I've broken all of those rules. I don't care. It's been a long day.
They don't know anything.
They don't know. Who knows?
Those gurus.
But yeah, we will end it here, guys. And yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers all.